It's the Wolf Media Festival podcast. Today's guests from the band The Big Infinite and documentary The Power of Expression, musical artist DJ Fritzges, Toney, and Jordan Lally. And now, here's your hosts, Kyle Hollingsworth, Richard Wilmore, and Jacquelynn Wolfheart.
Our guests today are many things. They're musicians, they're mental health advocates, they're documentarians. They also write a really damn good theme song. So if you're in the mood for a theme song for something, check them out. I know from experience. Their documentary, Power of Expression, won the Wolf Media Fest Award for Best Social Commentary Documentary Feature. That's a lot of words. I think we need to slim those down. We'll talk to Jacquelynn about that later. They also win my award for being really good friends. So I want to introduce you to two of the members of the band, The Big Infinite. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Hey, Richard. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Can't complain.
We'll start with Jordan. Do you want to introduce yourselves and maybe what you do in the band first? We'll start with the band.
Yeah, Jordan Lally. I am a singer-songwriter for The Big Infinite. Also founder and director of the Ed Lally Foundation. And The Power of Expression is this combined effort from the foundation and The Big Infinite.
My name is DJ Fritzges. I am a multi-instrumentalist in The Big Infinite, and I am the communications coordinator for the Ed Lally Foundation.
I want to start with the documentary because that's what you won for. Where did the idea come from to film what you were doing, to make a documentary even in the first place?
Necessity. It arose out of COVID. We were visiting schools with our Power of Expression program, which is this music and mental health awareness program that we offer up and down the East Coast and throughout the U.S. as well. And obviously during COVID, we couldn't continue that outreach in person. So we went into a local recording studio. We filmed our live presentation. And then a year or maybe 2 years after that, a documentarian, a wonderful mental health documentarian by the name of Greg DeCherry, saw those films that we were sharing in schools. And he said, I think this should be repurposed as a documentary. So he took that footage and created the Power of Expression documentary.
Well, I think we have another member of The Big Infinite joining us now. Hello.
Hello. Sorry.
I feel like I'm on a newscast live from the premiere. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, sorry I had to download the app and didn't realize I had to do all that.
That's so crazy because there is not an app for StreamYard. So I don't know why some people get that and some people don't. But anyway, we'll yell at StreamYard about that. We just started, so you didn't miss much. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Toney. I'm a percussionist and singer, rapper for The Big Infinite. And I work with the Ed Lally Foundation. I'm the program coordinator for the Power of Expression. And I'm an all-around cool guy. I don't know. What else do you want to know? What else?
Beatboxing. You beatbox.
I beatbox. I'm a beat and I whistle. Beatbox and I whistle.
Wow.
At the same time?
This is going to be a very talented episode of this podcast. Tell everybody about the documentary. Oh, I also want to know, where were you all when you found out you won our award?
I was sitting right here in my home studio when I got the email, which I was very excited about.
I was with Nellie. We were just playing.
Who's Nellie?
Nellie, my daughter. Yeah, 3-year-old daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was up on my bed trying to get some work done in my bedroom, hiding. That's where I have to hide these days.
Well, it's a well-deserved award. Tell everybody about the documentary, and what people can expect when they watch it.
The documentary is essentially, as I sort of already mentioned, an extension of this live program. We do it in schools, and it shares the story of I lost my father to clinical depression and suicide back in 2014, and we were on tour together when I got the word that my father had passed away. And so that loss really just changed my personal life. I think I can speak for DJ and Andre when I say that it changed their lives as well. And collectively, it changed our trajectory, our mission, our purpose as a band. And so we started visiting schools and sharing honestly about our own personal struggles with mental health, about the moment that I found out about my dad, about how everything changed from there, and then also sharing proactive mental health strategies, tangible things that people can do to improve their mental health. So that's really what the Power of Expression documentary explores, like that personal journey. And then also we endeavor to kind of share some tangible tools that other people can adopt as well.
Can we talk about kind of, I guess it's like, to me, it feels like the Wizard of Oz, like black and white to technicolor. And like there's that defining moment in your life, right, Jordan, of the death of your dad. And there's a band before and there's a band after, and we're talking about power of expression. Can you talk about each of your shift as individuals in that time and as a band, what that meant for all of you?
Yeah, I mean, the shift, I'd say it's still ongoing, but to me it was it's more like from going from color to black and white.
Mm.
Because before, we were out there trying to do the reggae rock scene, you're thinking palm trees, neon lights, this and that, trying to be famous. Um, Still, with, I think, positive and well worthwhile lyrics in our song. Um, but really the focus going from that, and then focusing on things that are real, like our true emotions, our true feelings, and actually getting down to those rather than just, oh, let's make this song. Let's hope everybody likes it. Let's be famous. Let's do this. Um, so it's really kind of in that process, it's kind of breaking away from the old me, which, like I said, it's still an ongoing process. But just allowing that to happen and allowing, the universe to kind of, I guess, unfold and just kind of go with the flow, grow with it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Dre said. It's kind of like a wake up call for myself to, you know, get my mental health in check and to kind of take steps to get myself to where I wanted to be and how I wanted to be seen and all those things.
Yeah, for me, it just comes down to the word vulnerability. And like before, everything was lived on the surface, both the band and just for me personally, it was a sort of this performative life experience where I was just trying to show people what I wanted them to see. With the band, I was trying to show on social media the version of them I wanted them to think. And then after I lost my dad, yeah, it just sort of opened up this willingness to be honest in the realest way possible, whether it was in the lyrics to our songs or the reality of an empty bar gig or standing on stage to, speak to 1,000 students and telling them that, I struggled for 20 years with social anxiety and couldn't even sing out loud till I was 27. So that was the big shift, and continues to be the big shift, just trying to be as open and honest as I can each and every day.
As guys in a rock band, there's like, the assumption, or there's the stereotype of being touring rock musicians and a group of guys. When Jordan comes to you guys and goes, "Hey, listen, life has changed and I'd like to go in a different direction," was there ever hesitation, even maybe Jordan on your part, of like, how do we do this successfully, or do we want to go on this ride with Jordan? Like, what was that like?
For me, it was simple.
Mm.
I've struggled with mental health my whole life, especially in school and outside of school. But those were dark times for me, and the fact that we can go to schools and try to make it so other kids don't have to experience that was huge, and that was a no brainer. I was like, yes, I'm in. Even if I wasn't ready at the time, I was like, I'm in.
I guess how we were doing it, really wasn't working. What are you doing it for? Like, what are you doing to your body when you're up at, 2, 3, these times in the morning? Like, is it even worth it at that point? Like, what is, like, I don't know, sometimes I, like to say, is the juice worth the squeeze and this and that.
Mhm.
So you want to have, when you have an opportunity to really make an impact, which is, all I ever wanted to do with my music. Yeah, I want to, be able to make money and support my family with it, but to make an impact and to make a positive impact on the world.
Mm.
Yeah, like DJ said, it's a no-brainer. 311's that's a band, one of the reasons I wanted to play live. And to me, I always thought their lyrics and their message has always been, positive, and to be able
Yeah.
to actually get out there and reach the people that need it, I think is very important.
Were you all open with each other? Like, did you know about each other's struggles before this? Or I'm curious, like, what your expression was amongst each other about your stories.
Yeah, we did not know one thing in a real way. Like we had endless conversations for 6, 7 years in the tour van, right? Talking all day long, but we never talked about anything really. And that was like, hesitant to say it, but it was a gift from my father's passing. It was like this horrific sort of grace where it just sort of, there was no choice left, but for me, at least, to be honest, our family couldn't uphold the appearances that maybe we had tried to do for so long. And then, the more honest I would be about stuff, or was forced to be, then, that sort of invited the same honesty from DJ and Dre. And to sort of circle back to your previous question, like there wasn't a particular conversation we had, like we're going to not play festivals in California. Instead, we're going to play middle school cafeterias.
Cafetoriums.
It's cafetoriums. Thank you. It just evolved, and it was an extension of our evolving relationship and how the nature of our conversations changed internally, and then that just sort of naturally grew to be, what we've grown into and what we do now with the power of expression.
How has that power in that expression amongst yourselves changed the dynamic as friends, as a band, as people, as men too? I think it's important to talk about that aspect.
I think we have a great relationship. I mean, I think we've always been close, but since everything's changed, it's, we're close.
Yeah, I feel like musically, like we've always been very inclusive musically. Like I don't know, take everybody's ideas and opinion, but now it just seems, I guess, even more easier, you know, especially since we're not really trying to force anything, any type of particular sound.
Yeah, we're all just trying to like serve the project now and stuff, and just make it better as we can.
I would say like I could probably zero in on one particular moment, which is before I go on stage. That's when my anxiety used to be the worst, and that was when I used to find myself, before we lost my dad, at the bar getting a whiskey and sort of not telling anybody anything, just drinking my whiskey and smiling. And now, I will literally walk to DJ and Andre, and if I'm feeling nervous, be like, I got a little nerves going on. Can we get a group hug? And we'll just stand there and hug each other, and then walk on stage. And we're doing it together. Before there was this isolation, this wall of boozy, anxious denial. I'm fine, guys. I'm okay. And now it's just like, oh yeah, I don't feel 100%. Maybe I could tap into your support. Maybe we could kind of all lift each other up. And that just sort of is speaks to the overarching, I think, transformation.
Yeah. I love that you're all involved in the foundation as well. Can you talk about that and how that came about and how people can support it? I think it's really I talk about this all the time as someone who worked in the nonprofit world for a long time. It's so hard and people don't know because you're out there doing good things and it's so hard sometimes to do good things. So can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that all day.
We'll start a separate podcast on this topic.
So our foundation's goal, the Ed Lally Foundation, is mental health and suicide prevention, but specifically to advocate for a proactive approach to mental health. There's a lot of reactive resources, which are very important. The 988 number, people reach a point of crisis, they have a place to call. But we want to teach people some simple things they can do on a daily basis to hopefully never have to get to that point of crisis, because there are some amazing transformative science-based practices that people can do without any need to spend any money on a daily basis, 5, 10, 15 minutes, that can absolutely transform mental health. So whether it's our school program, whether it's our foundation's support groups that we offer free to the community here in person, or virtual offerings nationwide, whether it's free mindfulness classes for teachers or retreats and all those kind of things, that's sort of the underlying goal and mission, is to teach people, to empower people, to educate them, like you can put your mental health in your own hands, and also you're not alone in that process. Like we can all be in this together. What it's like to run a nonprofit and try to make these sort of resources either free to the community or, for schools, like our bottom line has always been, budget won't be the reason that we don't speak to the students. So we've done the power of expression for $0 many times. We've done it for whatever the school budget had or whatever a kind donor in the community had. It just means like we're constantly grinding. But it also means in this beautiful way, which again harkens to our personal relationships and how they've changed, is that we need to make ourselves vulnerable to the community and the worldwide community or the nationwide community, the local community, to lift us up and support us and help us get into schools. And whether it's a community of suicide loss survivors, other people who have lost a loved one to suicide, and how they have lifted up a recent campaign of ours called the Eddie Boy and Eddie Boy campaign, and helped us reach other suicide loss survivors, whether it's alumni from schools who want us to visit their school, and so they donate just to help bring the school program in. Our tagline at the foundation is "Together we heal," and we obviously are referring to something more mentally, emotionally, but it's fiscally true as well. Like, together you can help us heal, you can help us get into other schools, because for whatever it is, like, mental health is not the top budget priority for a lot of schools, and it should be. It's the second leading. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among school-age students, and anxiety and depression rates are on the rise. And so,
can you talk about that program and what you do in the schools, and what you're hearing from the students, from the staff, how that looks?
Yeah, I mean, so after the assemblies, we get bombarded with students in a good way. During the assemblies, we're given resources and we're all speaking, and then we're playing songs that it's kind of like, if we didn't just get your attention talking to you, hopefully you're going to feel what we were talking about now. And then we offer like a stand-up, sit-down, anonymous survey where we ask them if they know someone who has, and then a couple of questions, and they all get to stand up and look around and notice that they're not alone. Like, at every school we go to, it's like 90% or more of the students are standing up at these questions, and it's extremely powerful. And then we're providing resources and other options and stuff like that, and we talk about QPR.
The survey DJ is referring to, like, the questions obviously are relating to mental health, and the last one we ask the students is, do you know anybody who's considered suicide, has had suicidal thoughts? And to see at every school, middle school, high school, private, no matter the public, no matter the location, to see 70, 80% of 90% of students standing up at that question is powerful. And they just look around and they get to see, even though they haven't had to reveal anything personally, they get to see and recognize that they're not alone in a very real way. And so that's the message of the power of expression. You're not alone, whether it's because we're sharing our stories, or sharing our stories in the lyrics to songs, or doing an exercise like that, or providing resources that they can tap into, like the 988 number, to call in those moments, to be reminded that they're not alone. That's really everything we're trying to achieve through that program.
And tools to help their friends and stuff as well.
Because you did mention that, Jordan, you mentioned, like, little things, 15 minutes a day. Like, can you throw out some that people could start doing today?
Yeah, the simplest one is just breath work. A simple breathing technique that we teach folks is called the easy breath. You just inhale through your nose and you exhale slow and steady through pursed lips. So like you're blowing out through a straw. By doing that, by pursing your lips, you're slowing down your breath cycle and you're extending your exhalation, and you're inducing your parasympathetic response, your relaxation response in your nervous system. So that is the simplest, most accessible tool we teach that you can use in a moment of stress, anxiety, nervousness, to downshift your stress, anxiety, nervousness. It'll help in those moments. And then the more that you practice it, the more impactful it becomes. So you could just do it when you're feeling nervous or anxious. You could also just set a timer on your phone, turn your phone over, and just practice that easy breath for 5 minutes a day. And over time, you're going to feel your nervous system state, just sort of like the resting state of your nervous system, just to lower a little bit, right? And so maybe you feel like you're wired for anxiety. You practice that sort of breathing. It can be helpful as a coping strategy, and then also helpful to really help you heal and change your nervous system. Now you can combine that with meditation, you can combine that with creative expression, talk therapy, all those things, and you can all those pieces to the mental health puzzle. But the simplest could just be 5 minutes a day of that sort of breathing. A few weeks down the line, a few months down the line, you're going to feel a palpable difference.
Speaking of power, and when you were talking about going into the schools and 70-80% of the people standing up for some of those questions, it got me thinking of like the energy coming when you guys are touring and you're in front of 1,000 people screaming your songs, and then you're in front of all of these kids who are being open and honest and vulnerable with you. How do you digest that when you see all of those people stand up for some of these hard questions?
I don't know. It's hard to say tenderly. I don't know. I just, like to be as open as handle it as softly as possible. Um,
Mm.
and it is, I try to have the right answers, I guess. I try to guide them because afterwards they come up to us, they ask us a lot of questions. Um, so that's almost where the nervousness comes because I like to give the best answer I can. But sometimes in the moment, you know, the words don't come to you. So
I would offer too that like teenagers like to sometimes keep their cards close to the vest. So
Mhm.
it was an adjustment for me initially um, when we would sing and play songs and tell these stories and just sort of be met with these blank teenage stares, just like looking at us. And like then my anxiety, for years of social anxiety, like, well, I would just assume the worst of behind those faces, and then we would get to that stand up, sit down exercise, and you'd see that okay, they're with us, or we would do a meditation, and we'd have them put their feet flat on the floor, and you'd hear 1,400 pairs of shoes hit the gymnasium floor in unison, and like those little moments, like they continually reminded me, like, oh, they're with us. And then when we would get to the opportunity that Dre's referring to after the assemblies, when students have the chance to come up and talk to us, that's when it's like it's so rewarding for me. Um, for all of us, just to be able to have these real conversations. And also, some of them are still like, can you sign my
yeah,
shoe, or whatever they got on hand for their uniform,
Yeah.
which is awesome too. But the biggest gift is when somebody's like, wow, that song, like I saw myself in that song, or I felt those words, or whatever. That's powerful
Mm.
stuff. So it's totally different than people singing along, or a drunk dude in the back of the bar being like, play Skinner, Freebird.
That was me back at some of their concerts when I lived in Maryland, by the way.
Every time you did it, did you think that you were the first one that did it?
Yeah. And I thought you all were singing to me, and I was the only one there. Yes, that's how that works. It's true. Where can people watch the film?
We are going to be releasing it in 2025 publicly. Right now, it's been available exclusively to schools and community organizations that work with the Ed Lally Foundation. So I would say, stay posted to edlallyfoundation.org for that announcement. We don't have a release date as of yet. Or book us at your school or community event, and you can have the documentary whenever you'd like.
How do they do that? How do they book you? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, talk to your PTA. We got to get in good with PTAs, apparently. But then, yeah, they can book us. They could, I guess, email me. Or
Yeah.
what's the
What's
best
your
way?
email?
This is my email. It's Andre Toney at edlallyfoundation.org.
There's also a contact form at the foundation's website that they could use as well.
I know, have free resources on the website. You have, I think, 2 great YouTube channels that people can go to. Can you talk about, especially the new one that you just started?
So, well, the band has a YouTube channel. The foundation has a YouTube channel. So those have been out for a while, and recently started a YouTube channel called The Lost Way Home, which shares a lot of small meditations, breathwork strategies, insights. It's really just the rubber meets the road in terms of what we talk about, and then actually being able to adopt some of those practices. So that's The Lost Way Home on YouTube.
What is the vision for what's coming next? We're almost in 2025. Like, what's the hope for 2025?
Just to keep getting in front of more students and
Yeah.
people, and help trying to heal the world.
Yeah, and to that end, like more music. We've been tipping the scales more in terms of releasing music. We released 2 original songs last year, studio songs, and so we're going to up that number in 2025.
Good.
Every single song we release, we do some sort of mental health awareness campaign around it as well. So I personally would just like us to get in the studio more and get back to the sort of balance out the mental health awareness work with also just being a band. Maybe do a tour again. That'd be kind of cool.
I would also like that.
Yeah.
Just saying. What's the best way to contact and follow and support everything y'all are doing?
The foundation and the band can both be found on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, um, and yeah, I think we're at the Big Infinite and at Ed Lally Foundation.
Have you guys thought about writing books in about this topic? Since you're already kind of doing the work in person, have you thought about adding books to your repertoire?
I'm so grateful for that question. I just finished a book that I spent the last few years on, which is also called The Lost Way Home. And I'm looking for publishers and support in that regard now. But I've worked with editors over a couple of years, and so yes. And then I also am going to start working on a shorter. That's more like a memoir style book. It's exactly like what we do in schools, but in a book form. And then I'm working on a shorter version of just like how-to techniques and stuff.
Either of you guys thought about, the other two thought about book writing or anything in regards to this?
Yeah, maybe a book of poems. That'd probably be the best I
Cool.
could do. But honestly,
It's the best I can do, he says.
Right.
I've thought about writing one about my injury because I got injured and it's stemmed in 20 surgeries and an amputation. And I've always thought about writing one about that, like to help other people, but I'm not a great writer.
That also needs to be a documentary.
Right. But there's ghostwriters who write for, like, you talk to them and they write for you. That's a route you should look into. I don't know how much that costs though. So, sometimes a lot of money to get your work out. Jordan, specifically, are you in your studio right now?
Yes.
Is this where you normally do your interviews, or were you just jamming out and we're like, I'll just do it here now?
This is the only space in my house. It's soundproof walls. I get to lock the doors from the inside out so no one can get to me. So I do all of my interviews here. This is where we've rehearsed. The band's rehearsed for a decade or so.
Oh,
so
cool.
This is where.
That's where I did my first ever interview.
It is? Wow.
Yeah. They were my first guests ever.
And he was our first ever theme song.
Yeah.
We wrote.
It's not just Richard's theme song, it's my house theme song as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wonderful.
Perfect. I thank you for doing what you're doing, for showing up and hanging out with me today. It's truly amazing. I've known them for a few years now, and just the evolution over these last few years is beautiful to watch, and I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
so much, Richard. Yeah, thanks.
And congratulations on your award. Really, that's amazing.
That was pretty awesome. Thank you.
We hope to see you in April. It's DJ, it's Jordan, and Dre. The Big Infinite, the Ed Lally Foundation. Go support them. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back after this.
Richard, are you excited that we're doing the festival at the Hilton?
Beyond. Not just for the festival, but that we're doing everything at the Hilton. We're staying there. The festival's there. I'm going to go to the bar there. I'm going to have breakfast there. It's like one-stop shop.
Yay! It's actually the Hilton Melbourne we're staying in, I think.
I'm very excited.
And guests can also stay there too.
They sure can. They can call. You have to call. The number's down below. And then you use the guest code Wolfheart to unlock exclusive savings for that weekend.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see everybody there.
It'll be fun. See you soon.
Check the links below or call 321-768-0200 and use code Wolfheart when booking to unlock exclusive deals for our festival guests.
You were their number one fan back in the day, Richard?
I mean, sure, I'll take that title. I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure a lot of people would fight me for that title, but I met them. I was friends with Jordan's wife. I met her first, and I was telling her that I was going to start a show. And she was like, well, my husband's in a band. Do you want to do that? And I was like, I mean, I guess. And so I went over there with an iPad, no microphones, no lights. I mean, it's just an awful show. The poor guys. And they were my first guests, and they performed for me, and I interviewed them for an hour. It was great. Yeah.
That's so cool. So that was like 8-ish years ago, or how long ago are we talking?
Yeah, 2016. So
wow.
8, yeah.
Ahead of time when we were getting ready, Richard said it's something like, it's so weird to finally interview you guys. So I didn't realize he had interviewed everybody like 15 times already. So how was it doing another interview with them?
I mean, they're just great guys. I would have them, I always tell them when I get my show on TV with a full studio, like they're my house band.
Yeah.
because they're just great people and they're such good musicians. Their music is so fun.
Yeah, they're very mellow guys too. Like this sounds so stupid, but they don't have like a threatening vibe while still also having a very cool vibe. So that's nice. That's super nice. And your show's theme song is written by them. And which I've mentioned, I think in a different podcast, I mentioned that at my house, I'm always walking around doing that every day.
Yes. Yeah. And just the sweetest guys. I, at some point, need to give them lots of money because they've given me lots of great things for free. So,
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice guys. Man, I was going to say something else about your theme song. I can't remember. My brain's in full function, as you can tell.
It's the end of the year, take a break.
We'll blame it on that. I actually feel like I've had like a really good brain lately. And then today, I don't know, I'm anxious to be back because we've been gone for almost a month. Has it been like a month since I've seen you?
It feels like it. How you've grown.
Please don't say that. Since I broke my hip, I've gained like 40 pounds. So I'm like, my life is not the same still, and I've gained so much weight. So please don't notice that.
I don't even have an excuse of why I've gained weight, just other than laziness.
Have you though? Because you look good.
Oh, well, thanks. I've got a thin filter on. So
I wish that was a thing. Is that a
thing? I don't know. I can't even see this far, so I don't actually know what I look like. And I just kept thinking, my God, I don't know what I look like. So
you always look handsome, and I feel so like a creep every time I'm like, oh, my beautiful baby boy Richard. Because you just I have a crush on you, but not like an actual crush on you. I just love who you are as a person, and you're always so beautiful. So you look great. Well, you look wonderful.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. I wish Kyle was here. I bet she would have a lot of questions for them.
I know. Kyle's out sick today. I feel better. Hopefully by the time this goes out, Kyle will be better and she'll be back. I know.
Yeah, hopefully. So she's been gone almost a month too from us because she injured her back, and then she had a trip with her husband, a work/fun trip. Fun for her, I think, work for him. And now she's ill. Sick. And so I miss her, and I've done a couple of texts maybe checking on her back when it was injured, and then today. And so I have no idea what she's been up to.
Well, our New Year's resolutions for 2025 should be to not miss an episode.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, I like when I get to join in with you, though. So, I mean, it's okay sometimes if somebody misses, but,
Yeah,
I would rather have all of us, but there's just not enough screen time for all of us.
Because we're all attention hogs, so.
Yeah, it's
true.
Too many people I think I'm the worst. I think I don't know how to say it nicely. I think you're the least attention hoggy.
Yeah, in a weird way. I do 9,000 shows a week. But yes. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I just don't get it. I don't know. It's a weird. I'll talk to my therapist about it.
No. I think it's like you've gotten to a really calm place in your mind, as where I think me and Kyle are not so much like attention seeking, but like our brain is like overdrive. So we're like the next thing, while you're just like in the moment of the thing. If that's how I'm perceiving it, but I could just I just made that up, maybe.
Well, maybe I should go back into acting then. That sounds like I did a good job. If that's how you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it at the festival. You should join in some of the live acting. There's going to be like improv stuff going on. You should join in.
I mean, that's coming up in a couple months. How do people get tickets?
It's online. There's supposed to be a Black Friday sale today, which when this comes out, it would have been over, but I forgot to post it, so there's not it anyways.
Wow, great.
But still on the front page of our website, wolfmediafest.com, it still has a direct link to the Black Friday sale. By my husband's been super busy, so he hasn't updated that at all. So you can still get that, which every ticket on there now is at cost to us, so we don't make a profit until he changes that. So part of me is like, don't buy it yet, but also a part of me is like, get it quick so you can get that price. wolfmediafest.com, right on the front page should be options to buy tickets. There's weekend tickets, there's like daily passes, there's VIP passes. There's the prom tickets. There's the banquet tickets. All those should be right on the front. We're adding more and more events every day. I have the coolest one. I don't know. Every one I come up with, I'm like, this is so cool. But have you heard of like the selfie rooms?
Like the studios that you go in to like take social media photos?
Yeah.
Like that stuff? Yeah.
Yep. And it's just like one room with 14 different themes in it. We're going to make one of those at the festival. So we will have a selfie room.
Wow.
Or I don't know what they're called. I'm calling it a selfie room, but it's not that. So we're going to have photographers there if people want to use those, but they will be that you have to pay them. Otherwise, your selfie time is free, included with your ticket. If anybody knows about the selfie rooms, they're like $100 an hour. So this is a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
For $10 for a full day.
I'll make sure my phone is charged.
So we got lots of props being made for really cool themes and backgrounds in the selfie room. I'm really excited we're doing that. Plus all the other live events, lots of film screenings. We still haven't narrowed it down. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up. I'm excited.
Cool. Me too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let the people go for now, I suppose. Don't forget to like, watch, subscribe, rate. We're doing really good on YouTube, not so good on the podcast form. So if you want to listen to us twice, please do. Watch us and then go listen to it.
Share it.
Share. Thank you, everybody. See you later.
Thanks. Bye.
Wolf Media Festival Podcast with Kyle Hollingsworth, Richard Wilmore, and Jacquelynn Wolfheart. Produced and edited by me. I'm Jacquelynn Wolfheart. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to find ways you can connect with our guests. Thanks for checking us out today and tuning in every week wherever you get your podcasts.